I don't believe polyamory works for men. I think polyamory works for women. Your concept of monogamy now, has it changed since your first relationship? Do you believe, you understand, this city will strain the normal concepts of monogamy. I've had several couples who come on here and we'll have conversations with them. The couples that I know that last the longest here, there's always like some extra thing involved. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe that traditional monogamy works, or it works but it doesn't work in Vegas, or it does work in Vegas, or you don't believe in traditional monogamy, or you're open to other things? What do you believe?
Gosh, I think monogamy works everywhere else. I think that for some reason, every girl out here in Vegas likes girls. So there's always that factor. I don't think monogamy works out here. I think there's nothing wrong with dating someone and then playing around with other girls. But I feel like that's just a thing that we all do out here. I'm not, I mean, only out here.
I don't know why you
though.
preaching to the choir. Keep talking. I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, yeah, my views have definitely changed. I mean, after you get cheated on a few times, you're like, maybe there's something in this, you know? But I think that it just depends on who you're with too, you know? But I think that if you want your relationship to last, you should experiment with different things. And yeah, it's about being loyal and having intimacy with that other person. You know, he's your king, you're his queen, but I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with like pulling in other girls or, you know, doing whatever makes you guys happy to keep it last as long as it can.
Where was the transition? I imagine you didn't believe this coming out of North Carolina. What was the thing that specifically made you feel differently? So the term you're looking for is polygyny, not polyamory. Polygyny. What was the thing that caused you to believe that different? And by the way, we have never had this discussion before. I've never talked to her about this. So the funny that you saying exactly what I agree with is funny. What was the transition? Was it you getting cheated on? Was it that first guy? Was it the musician? What happened?
Gosh, yes, it was probably the first guy being cheated on, but I am no angel myself. So, okay. I mean, that's kind of hard to say. Again, coming from 4 brothers and a dad who is an absolute playboy, I myself am not an angel. So, you know, after I was engaged, I just lost it.
So after you broke up the engagement?
Yes.
You just went wild.
I just was like, I'm never going to be hurt by any man ever again. You know, I would be dating 1, 2, 3 people at one time.
You had an exploration year.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was awful. So then, you know, I finally decide, you know, with my ex, like, okay, you know, I'm going to be good. I'm going to try to, you know, just be with one person. I can do this. Like, promise myself, like, I'm going to be able to do this. I have to do this. And, man, I was in a freaking cage. I felt so suffocated. Even when I was being well-behaved, you know, everything that I was doing, he always thought I was cheating on him.
So his insecurity.
His insecurity,
not suffocated in, because people may misinterpret this, not suffocated in that, oh, I just need strange penis. Yeah. You're suffocated in that he's controlling what it is that you're trying to do all the time. Okay.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's like when you have a guy that's that insecure, he's not only insecure about guys, he's insecure about girls. Like, when you're a hot girl.
That's insanity. That's fucking insanity.
Yeah, when you're a hot girl, you're getting hit on by girls too. So it's like, you know, if I want to have my girlfriend Harper sleep over, it's an issue because, you know, he's insecure even about her. And it's like, well, what's wrong with that if I want to play with her? Or what's wrong with if I have another girlfriend and I want to make out with her because she's hot? Like, I don't know what the problem is. So, you know. That
specifically I cannot speak on for other reasons.
Sorry, I always bring her up.
No, it's fine. You can bring it up as much as you want. So no, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's confusing to me. Like, why you'd have a problem with that. Like, I'd never, I would, funny enough, you mentioned her specifically. Go out, have a fucking great time with the girl. I'll pay for everything. Just take my credit card. Just have a fucking blast. Yeah. I wouldn't care at all. I would never have an issue with my girl. If my girl is seeing another woman, that is almost like 2 different planes of existence, like two-dimensional planes that don't intersect to me. That's always the way I felt it. And it's really interesting when I hear men say specifically this concept of like that. Well, actually, I never hear men say it. It's always the women later on afterwards say, I was insecure about this. And I'm like, this is the greatest shit ever. Yeah. They're both gonna come back and I'm gonna sit here and play video games the whole time? Fucking sign me up. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna play Madden and you're gonna go out and have dinner and then come back, both of you on drinking tequila? Let's do this. I'm totally fine. Me and the cats will be here when you get home, honey. We're good. Yeah, so that shit is crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah. What do you think? I'm just curious.
I mean, I completely agree with you, but I'm biased because it's my show. And like, so the thing is, this is the part that's controversial. Mm-hmm. I don't believe polyamory works for men. I think polyamory works for women. And the reason why is because whenever I see a woman suggest polyamory, meaning both of us have partners outside the relationship, generally it's because the woman has lost, I'm going to say, this is vile the way I say it, but I'm going to say it because it makes the point a little stronger. She has lost respect for his penis. His penis doesn't mean that much to her anymore. And so him putting it in another woman is not that big of a deal because he can't really get anyone because she doesn't see him as a very high status. But there's Brock and Alex and Steve over here who she'd like to explore some sexuality.
But that's where the line is. See, that's where I'm weird. I don't want any other dick in me other than my man.
So that's polygyny. So what you're describing is polygyny.
Okay,
so we're starting with polyamory, which is both. Polyamory tends to work for women. I don't ever see polyamory work for men, with one exception. If a man is bisexual, then I think polyamory can be equal if that's the case. A lot of times when you're seeing polyamory, you're seeing a bisexual man who either is unaware that he's bisexual or he is aware and he's just trying to keep it on the DL, and that's why he's so accepting of it. Generally, polyamory is your marriage is somewhat failed, and now we're trying other things. I have a buddy of mine who's he's comfortable with his wife being with other men. It almost never happens, like once every 3 years or whatever. And he calls himself bi-adjacent. He's bi-curious adjacent or whatever. Okay. And so for those people, that's fine. But I think for heterosexual men, it tends to not work. I go to hedonism every year. I remember going there one time. This one guy, Ben, super nice guy, really handsome dude, sitting there. His wife was over here, and they were like, yeah, we're both polyamorous. I hook up with girls, he hooks up with guys, and they were trying to make each other jealous. But watching it, he's barely getting a makeout with one girl. She has 7 dudes ready to put their penis inside of her. That's why polyamory doesn't work for men. It's just like if you and your man split up, you have 3 orders of magnitude, literally. Like he has 1 and you have 1,000 of dudes that are trying to get at you and like open to having sex with you. Strictly on a sexual basis, that's the way it is. And then here's the thing, like you might be saying, well, women don't want to have sex with that many dudes. They want a structural relationship. Well, no, she has a structural relationship. She still has a provider. He's still taking care of her kids. They're still living a home together. She just has sex with other men. That's why I personally believe that polyamory doesn't work for heterosexual men. Polygyny, which is what you're saying. By the way, polyandry is multiple men and 1 woman. And this happens in certain societies where you'll have 2 brothers marry 1 woman because there's just no women there. That doesn't work for anyone. That one is just a disaster for everyone. The one that I've seen work for both men and women is polygyny, which is the concept of like not me having sex with other women without you if we're in a couple. We have sex with other women together.
Yes, boom.
Together, right?
Yes, I think that is what works.
We're like Hulk Hogan and the fucking Ultimate Warrior. Here we go. I'm gonna slap you in. All right, you go in now. It's your turn. I'll go get the Taco Bell.
No, that's what I think works. I mean, and that's the thing too. It's all about listening to your partner. I mean, I think every man, it's their dream to be with, multiple women. But I think that every girl too, like, has a crush on another girl. But I think, it's just about listening to your partner and what each other wants. And, if you can do it, why the fuck are you not doing it? Like, if your girl can pull other girls because she's that hot, what are you doing? Get after it. I mean, and I guess as a woman, you have to be very secure with yourself. But I mean, it's fun. Life is short. Do what you got to do.
Women are hotter than men. I'm just going to say that right now. To everyone. Women are just hotter than men to everyone.